Hello, everyone, and welcome to a TD interview session. Today we have Shane Sternstein. He is coming to us from Los Angeles. I'm in New York, and we are going to be talking to Shane today. For those of you that don't know him or haven't seen him around the Facebook group or the TDU posts, Shane has been with us for about a year now, and he started, I'll let him tell the story, but he basically started in a different industry, wanted to get into lighting. We signed on at TDU. We went through some challenges, and he has been able to translate by working his butt off and making some really beautiful images into an opportunity at Dreamworks. So we're just going to talk to him about that path today. But first off, Shane, I just want to know a little bit about you. So, where are you from? Where did you grow up? Where did you begin?
Yeah, I am from LA, born and raised. It's kind of weird out here. Most people are transplants, but I am actually from LA. So went to Chapel High, which is in the valley, and from there I took a class in high school. It was like a 3D class. Nowhere else, I didn't even know what it was. So I actually thought that 3D at the time was like stop motion, and took the class and fell in love with it, and then kind of just went from there. And built everything, like my passion. Went through a ton of different avenues, and finally got back to what my passion is right now, which is lighting.
Great. Were you always artistic growing up? Were you a drawer? Did you do that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I wasn't it was on and off. In sports, I wasn't a lot, but I was always creative in the sense of when I do presentations in school, it wouldn't be just an oral report. I would literally put these visual presentations together, whether it was dioramas or slideshows. I just always had that inkling to be very creative with whatever I presented, and loved to kind of just doodle and draw and do comics and create different superheroes. So always had kind of a little bit of the creative bug within me.
That's cool. And so did you stay in LA for college? Did you stay out there? Or did you?
Yeah, I after high school, because I literally didn't know what I wanted to be in high school. And after taking the class, I was like, oh, this would be an incredible opportunity. So I built up a little mini portfolio, went to Art Center, Laguna, and showed them my work. And they were kind of even because at that time, this is early 2000s, they didn't really have a ton of programs out there for 3D. So I said, I really want to get into animation. I love this rendering and lighting stuff. And they actually pushed me to get into animation. They said, hey, you know what? The best idea is take figure drawing classes, learn how to draw, get down the avenue of animation. And that's what I kind of did. I went to community college, took a ton of courses there. I got put my hands into everything, whether it was illustration, ceramics, sculpture, anything I can just be associated with art. And at the same time, at night, I would go to Art Center and take a lot of figure drawing classes there. So that finally got me to the Art Institute, and which was at the time was one of the few schools it was the Art Academy. I think Savannah was starting to get pretty big. So I went with Art Institute because it was local, and I was able to drive there every single day. And it was next to the beach, which is awesome.
Which is really great. Yeah, that's a good setup.
Yeah. So from there, I studied more in animation and rigging. There was a lot of generalist classes, but was heading towards the technical animator route. And then and then I graduated with a bachelor's degree there, and kind of went on from that point on.
So what were you doing after, from there, where did your career take you?
Yeah, I was initially, it was 2 weeks, and I'm always super anxious about just doing stuff. So 2 weeks in, I was just close to taking a job doing like just rotoing and tracking, and then I do that at night, like the graveyard shift, and then during the day I do like an internship in a VFX house. But then I got this opportunity with an awesome advertising agency called Petrol, and they allowed me to work on their print work, rigging and posing their characters, and that was like my first job, was just creating all these poses for these characters to hand off to illustrators to put in their print work.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And how long did you do that?
So I did that. Oh, I was at the company for 7 years.
Wow.
Initially working in the print department, then moving up my way into their AV department, doing a lot more animation, onto the role of like their CG supervisor, had a small team. And then I transitioned into an associate creative director role, writing more, being on like more of like the macro global surface, and being a part of like more of the directing side. And then from there, I became a producer, and which is the craziest thing.
Right.
So I was producing for 2 years, two and a half years there. And then I went freelance and produced for another 2 years after that.
Wow.
So, and that led me to the beginning of this year.
Because I think that's when we met you. So, so what caused you to reach out to us? How did you start at TDU? Did you because you were making a transition, right?
Yeah. I knew you guys since 2013.
Okay.
Right? I was stalking you guys for a very long time.
Okay.
But at the time, 2013 was when I was kind of shifting into the producer's role. Like it was either I was going to be a producer or I was going to start lighting again. And because when I was at Petrol, I fell in love with lighting again and was starting to go down that path. And then I took a turn and went to producing. But I was going to start taking classes with you guys during that period of time to build just 5 more years to get to the point where you can actually achieve that.
Sure, of course. That's the normal plan, to just like watch us for 5 years and then come on over. That's good.
Yeah, exactly. I saw you guys, and then I think I reached out to you because you were saying, oh, we're gonna have like new like classes, this new like system up, and I was like, this is like so weird. Like, yes, please. Like, let me like infuse myself completely with what you guys do.
That's great. No, that's phenomenal. And then, so talk to us about the last year, because a lot's gone on for you. From what I've seen from a distance, it seems like you've gone through a lot. Like the work you've made has been great. Like, so just talk about like this year.
Yeah, this year has been it's been a whirlwind. It was crazy. At the beginning of the year, I started in like a sabbatical. I really wanted to know like what I wanted to do, and it just kept going back to lighting. And so I bought a new computer. I started playing around a little bit. I'm like, yes, this is it. I signed up for all the courses, and then I just created a plan of like where I wanted to go. And I wanted to be in film since high school, and I wanted to work on animation. And that's where I decided to create some goals of how to get into that industry. And the first part was beginning to understand the fundamentals again, learning, educating and studying a lot, and then creating a portfolio that really marketed towards the animation and for film. So I took like the idea of like making 4 different pieces, one being like a still life just to get my feet wet again, and then I wanted to do an exterior landscape, an interior landscape, just an interior piece, and then just another like kind of just I want to do a third one that showcases like different lighting schemes. So what was great is like all your courses really catered to that. I was able to kind of just like learn and also do the challenge at the same time, which is perfect.
That's great. You had you also had like an interesting workflow where you because you were inspired by a designer that you reached out to,
Yes.
and then you got permission to. And did you build the models for your work?
Yeah. So a lot of times, like I was saying before, I really want to cater to the like film and animation, and the only way to do that is to be able to like find work to be able to essentially get inspired by and recreate. So I went on sites, Pinterest, Behance, ArtStation, and I found a couple artists. One, the last piece that I had done, the relaxing morning tea, was done by such an incredible artist, Mike Redman, and I went on his page and just saw so many different cool like pieces that he did, and they're all like they all had this great mood with their characters. Like the characters just felt alive. So, and the lighting, it's such a great eye for lighting. So that I knew for a fact that that's what the piece I wanted to do. So I reached out to him, asked him, hey man, like this is awesome. Would it be cool if I can just recreate this?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, go for it.
That's great.
Yeah, I felt really kind of just blessed because like he's such a talented artist, and to be able to give me permission to recreate that was so cool.
It's a really amazing industry, and the ability to work with artists, because you'll find that these people that you'll follow on Instagram or ArtStation or something, and you just reach out to them, and they're so accommodating and so friendly. So for anyone watching this, I would highly encourage, if you like someone, just email them or talk to them. They're
Absolutely.
Just,
just reach out to if you see something that you would like to be able to recreate, reach out to them. And if that's not the piece, go to another one. Because creation is, everyone's very welcoming, and everyone wants to see the evolution of what they've done and even become better. So so he let me recreate it. I built it from scratch, model it. The only thing I didn't do was the character modeling. I reached out to probably 7 different modelers to be able to help me out, because everyone's so busy.
Oh yeah.
And again, it's one of those things where you don't want to bug someone, especially since it's a free project.
Right.
So it's I try to. It's a very fine line of asking them, and then once you start working on it, being able to kind of push it along. Yeah. Because again, they're probably working on 3 different projects at the same time. Right. So sometimes that stuff takes a little bit longer than you think. But in the end, I found a modeler, Leo Rezende, and he's fantastic, and the patience from both of us was great, and I loved the collaboration, and he did a great job.
That's great. So you made all these great projects. You started to put together a demo reel. Can you talk a little bit about your application processes because I know that you were probably applying to different companies. Can you talk about how you approached that?
Yeah, initially, because I didn't go towards film first. And part of my game plan was to get into the commercial industry first, only because I had some of the network. I knew some of the people, and it's kind of what a lot of people have done in the past. So kind of just, again, get my feet wet and start to learn a little bit on the job, and then I can transfer over to film. But so I reached out to more commercial companies, and then I stumbled upon a school that allowed me to actually light their animation. They had students who did a ton of different animations, so I worked on that. And at the same time, I started applying to Blue Sky, Dreamworks, and Pixar, and some of the bigger companies. And Dreamworks actually had this development program that they were doing. So it wasn't, because a lot of companies will just they'll bring on trainees or interns, but it's usually just out of college.
Right.
And what was fantastic about this program was they were just like, anybody, like if you've been at it, if you haven't been in the industry for like 5 years, totally fine. We're just looking for awesome, great, talented people that are really cool.
That's great.
so reached out to them, and after like a month and a half, I got a reply from a recruiter, and they were like, "Hey, would you like to interview with us?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like immediately, "Yes, please." So
then you went out to Dreamworks because you're in Los Angeles, and you did an interview with them?
I actually did the interview via face-to-face, like video chat.
Oh wow, nice.
Like that's how they were doing all of their. They just brought a couple people into like a conference room, and like it was like a 2-round interview in the day. Mm-hmm. Met with some of their supervisors first, and then some of the creative second, and had a great experience with that. Asked a lot of challenging questions, and whether it was technical or creatively. But in the end, it was a great experience. It was like an hour long, and met like 6 different people. It was great.
Did you find that they were like grilling you with questions, or was it just like, were they looking for like technical knowledge, or were they just like talking in generalities to you, just like trying to get you better, or like what did you feel like the tone of the interview was?
It's definitely they want to kind of gauge like where you're at, but the first half was very much technical. They'll even throw in a brain teaser in there, but it's really more about, I think, integrity and honesty. Like how much, like what is that person going to do under pressure? Or are they going to be honest about the questions if they don't know something? So that in the end, it wasn't really about like whether I knew something or not. It was whether like I was honest with what I was talking about. And then in the second half, it was very much, the second group was more about like creative questions, very much laid back, and asked like more about the generalities of like what I would like to do, why I wanted to be a writer, and then some and then asked me about my reel and how I did things. Then asked about a couple just photos to see like what I thought about the lighting, what about the mood, what type of lighting I thought.
That's really cool.
They wanted to like get to know me as an artist as well. So
that's really, really cool. So then did you get a call from there with the offer, or how did that go?
Yeah. So afterwards, they needed 2 weeks to kind of go through everybody, and then
that's a long 2 weeks for you.
Yeah, it was a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
because I really wanted it, and on the last day, because I was like, oh, maybe they'll like call me earlier just to let me know if I didn't get it or not. But on the last day, I was like I was so anxious because it was like getting later in the day. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
But then they called me and they asked me if I wanted to join the program, and I was just like ecstatic. And again, I was like, yes, please.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So how long is the program?
It's a 10-week program.
Okay.
I'm in my 6th week right now.
Okay.
It's a lot of just initial training and getting to know the process, because it's definitely much different than working at home. There's that pipeline and workflow, and so they want to be able to like invest in you to be able and train you to be able to fit in well with the team.
Yeah. So just so you guys know listening, I'm not going to ask Shane specific questions so we don't get into any proprietary information. But Shane, is there anything about the experience you can share with us? Is it like, are you lighting a lot of different projects? Are you working on, I don't know, like an old scene from an old film or something? Or like...
Yeah, like they let you like dive into a lot of the shots that they've already created, so you can kind of see what's been done and how they were thinking. You can go through their compositing and see like how things were composited and how things were lit, and a lot of times like you're going to see a huge difference. So between the two packages.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they'll give you exercises as well to work on. And right now they're prepping us to actually be on the show.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, so
that's exciting.
Yeah, it's super. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's super cool to think that I'm actually going to be working on a film.
Yeah.
So,
that's a really special, like you're in a really special time. It's really great. And I'm sure I remember when I was first starting, like everything, I was just blown away by the amount of, I don't know, just like so much, like I was just learning every single day and every single hour of every day and like all the new stuff. It must be exciting for you.
It's awesome. And I will say that the team is incredible. Like they're very supportive, and they tell me like if I have any questions, like just ask. Feel free to ask. So it's like they want you to succeed. Yeah, really. The days there hasn't been a day where I was just having like this is super challenging. Like it's all challenging, but you always feel like if there's someone there to be able to help you, and support you, and mentor you. So. Yeah,
no, this is an incredible industry full of open, talented, warm people who are willing to help and willing to share. The people I've heard nothing but good experiences from people at Dreamworks. So so it's a special culture there. Do you have any advice now that you're still going through this crazy time? You've got several weeks left. I'm sure there's going to be more on the horizon for you, but just like in this moment right now, is there any advice you can give to anyone watching this about how, because it's a very daunting point when you're in a career or in school and you want to make this transition to where you are now. Like, what advice would you give somebody looking to make that move?
I think just initially when you first start out, I would say create a strategy, a goal of like where do you want to go? Like, do you want to be film? Do you want to be in VFX? Like initially, just so you can like cater your reel to that. And be able to game plan, and because I knew I had a short amount of time to be able to build a portfolio, so I wanted to be very efficient with it, and so I wanted to build 4 different pieces that were very different from each other, had different moods, different styles, but along the same line had that animation feel to it, whereas like either Pixar or Disney or DreamWorks. That I wanted to cater to that. So I think not everybody's going to do this, and it's totally fine. But I think it's good to have a strategy of where you would want to go, because you can actually market yourself better that way. And a lot of times be able to specialize in certain things, which if you're looking to get into commercials, it's definitely a great idea to have a generalist reel, because that way, like you're able to pop into, you're going to be going into so many different roles, and you'll be wearing multiple hats. So it's good to have that generalist reel for that. But if you want to get into like the film side, it's really good to like figure out who you want to market to. So I would say that's like number 1 out in terms of tips. But I would also say just don't lose the love for studying and learning and growing, and don't be afraid to learn new techniques or software. Just constantly like immerse yourself into everything that's around you, and the new, like whether it's technical or artistic or just going outside and being able to like just see how light works against different surfaces and materials. So I would say always continue to learn. Third, I would say be humble. Like it's a long, arduous road, and like I got lucky. I feel very lucky in being able to get to this point because if I didn't have that opportunity with Dreamworks, I might have to go in a little bit longer to get to this to where I am right now. So it's just always constantly realizing that you're going to get there, and you're going to have perseverance toward it. But in the meantime, just be humble and enjoy the experience where you're at. Because you're going to I started 11 years ago, and went down so many different paths, and like every single role that I took didn't matter. I put 110% into it, and I always learned something new from that. And I feel like those 10 years, like all those different experiences, like helped me get to the point where I am right now.
That's great.
So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's great. No, that's exciting. Well, thank you, Shane, for taking the time to talk to us today and tell your story, and just be a part of the TDU family. We're obviously very honored that you're a part of the team, and we're looking forward to seeing, because I know this isn't the end for you, so we're really excited to see what you do next.
I still have one more course I need to take.
I know, that's right. That's right. We're releasing that now. And we got it all worked out for you, and we've got more courses coming down the road and more good stuff. So thank you.
I want to thank you guys too. So you guys have been incredible. Like all the courses that you guys have created, and just the community that you've built has been so inspiring, and the mentorship has been such a great experience. So I wanted to give you guys such a huge thank you as well.
It's our pleasure, Shane. It really, really is. So. All right, if you guys have any other questions, post them to the Facebook, the private Facebook group, and we'll be happy to send that along. Or if you're not a TDU student, just email me, Mike at td-u.com, and I'll make sure to bug Shane again with some future questions. But thank you again, Shane. We'll talk to you soon.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.